Field warm-ups right now, Hermiston and the Kennewick Lions. I'm Eric Olson alongside Sonny Levy with you from the CMG Financial Broadcast booth, where we have a beautiful day today, picturesque after some early morning rain showers, a little bit of breeze coming out of the southwest right now. Actually, maybe I'm reading that wrong. That might actually be looking at some balloons. Yeah, it's actually coming out of the east right now, which will mean it'll be a little bit chillier as we get closer to kickoff. So the Kennewick Lions are 3-0. They are a team that a year ago were in the semifinals. They played all the way, or a season ago, they played all the way to November 30th of 2019. They lost O'Day in the semifinals at Popkeen Stadium, 29-7. But they got a couple of razor-thin wins to get their quarterfinals. They beat Bethel 21-20, and then in the opening round of the WIAA state playoffs, a 35-34 win over Yelm. They beat Shadle Park 24-7 at the Lamp to get through the crossover and get themselves into the postseason where they did. So they're a team that's got a lot of experience, especially those extra weeks from last year. They're a team that's got a lot of talent. They're a team that is riding high, as Randy Aftalter is in his second season, and he's got a crew here that they're bringing into Kennewick tonight against a Hermiston team that, as we've highlighted over the tailgate show, there's no way to sugarcoat 48-0 against Walla Walla last week. The Bulldogs have got some wounds to lick.
Yeah, they do. They've got to come out here and just do the job. They got to have that old mentality. It's a bad memory. Just get rid of that old memory, and then it's done for.
So let's talk about guys who are Swiss Army knives, who do everything, because two of the most important Swiss Army knives are not suited up tonight. And on the Kennewick side, that means that in street clothes this evening is the junior Miles Mayofsky, starting running back. He's a starting linebacker. He is a kick returner, and he is a superstar athlete for the Kennewick Lions. Not having him is a bit of a surprise, but he has been playing since the first week of the season, the win over Pasco, with essentially a clubbed hand, a cast hand from a break. And, the impact is their top offensive athlete in an offense that has a lot of weapons is missing. When you find that out, let's go into the mind of Scott Hammond, the defensive coordinator. Does that adjust anything?
Not really, because they have another very dynamic runner in Eric Mora that is in the backfield, number 5, that will be able to run. I mean, not to the extent of what Mayowski can bring, because the last time we saw Mayowski on this field here as a freshman, wasn't it, that he put almost 300 yards up against us on the ground.
Yeah, and that was a game that that plus a fake punt being successful in 2018, Bill Templeton's last year in charge at Kennewick. They won 26-25, and it was part of the reason Hermiston didn't end up going to the playoffs in their first year in Washington.
Yeah, as a freshman, he showed he showed exactly what he had. Just to give an early heads up to the whole conference and to the state, he followed that up with another very good sophomore campaign. And then, this year, the shortened campaign, that he was off to a pretty good night. The first night, I think he ended up his first against Pasco. I thought
a couple of touchdowns, like 160, something like that.
Yeah, like 160 yards and two touchdowns. So, everything was going right. And then, of course, the broken arm and playing
hand,
the club.
I think.
Yeah. Hand, wrist, whatever in there, and then also talking with the Hermiston coaching staff, it seems like he did a little bit of damage to both ankles last week's game.
He's done a lot of damage to a lot of ankles over his career. I guess the mental impact, so let's switch it over to the other side of the coin, because one of the seniors that is going to be honored tonight is one who won't get to suit up this season, and that's Trevor Wagner. Last year's second team MCC conference punter, along with one of Hermiston's leading tacklers in the defense as a linebacker safety, and a key component. It would have been another weapon for Chase Elliott offensively. So the absence of Trevor and what impact we've seen so far from not being able to have him out there.
Just in leadership alone, tremendous. In actual athletic ability, a lot. He was that part of the switchblade out there that absolutely made the Hermiston offense go last year. He ran the ball very well. He caught passes what he needed to. He punted well. He kicked well. Losing that much of your offense in one swipe, that's just on the offensive side, was huge for this year. Then you flip it over to the defensive side, where he was a stalemate in that defense, that he was kind of one of the go-to guys that could get you a stop fairly quickly.
Trevor last year had a shoulder issue, and actually I talked to him last week on the field before the Walla Walla game, and I knew it wasn't the shoulder, but he said, one of the problems, well, not problems, but one of the things is a lot of people think it's still the shoulder problem. He actually had got cleared for the shoulder problem, but over the winter injured his back.
Oh.
And essentially it's a chronic back injury that he's trying to work through rehab, but he's in pain. And the hope is that he's going to be able to play baseball, but he said it's not going to happen here in football over these last 2 weeks. So he's played his last down of football, and the hope is he hasn't played his last event as a Bulldog athlete, because he's a three-sporter as well. Let's not overlook his best sport, which, as impactful as he is in football, his best sport is wrestling. And, we're talking about a guy who would be a point maker at state any time he steps onto a mat.
Didn't he finish second in state last year? And I do believe, and probably the guy that finished ahead of him was it fourth? I think it was second.
I can't remember.
Anyway,
you can't ask me crazy questions that.
But I do believe that the guys that were that finished ahead of him, I thought it was second, but graduated. So that would have been a lot of point makers for Trevor Wagner and for a Hermiston Bulldog team, if not, which would have been the first of an individual state title that could have possibly went to a Hermiston Bulldog in the WIAA.
So actually, Wagner down there on the field right now, he is just introduced, and the seniors continue to be rolled out here this evening. This is your Sway Motors Tailgate Show on your hometown radio station, AM 1360 KOHU. We also want to welcome you if you're listening online at gohermiston.com and mixler.com/1360 at KOHU. Our web stream presented by Eastern Oregon Telecom Internet at the speed of life. As Joe continues on the public address to roll through the seniors, we've moved on to the senior managers now. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get you starting lineups as the Bulldogs host the Kennewick Lions on AM 1360 KOHU. introduced. Also a quartet of senior cheerleaders, along with the Bulldog senior football squad. And we will continue inch closer to the start tonight. So we have highlighted Miles Mafsky not in the Kennewick starting lineup. So Eric Moore will get the start at running back. We'll take a look at the starting lineups. They're brought to you by Gawler Health. So Moore in the backfield along with senior quarterback Elijah Tanner. He was a wide receiver a year ago. Now he is the signal caller. He has a very healthy stable of horses to throw to, along with Mora and Mayowski in the backfield normally. They have a junior, Simeon Howard, and then seniors Trevor Ridley, Josiah Barajas, and Max Mayer, all in the starting receiving corps. That receiving corps is probably the toughest thing to contend with, even with Mayowski there, just because there's so many different options for Tanner.
And all of them have speed. All of them have quickness and speed. And they, from watching them, last year and then watching them on film so far this year, pretty good route runners, pretty disciplined route runners. And that is the thing. They can get behind you. And if they don't get behind you, whenever they come through, they are able to go ahead and make the move and advance.
Then in front of Tanner and Mora, the offensive line, a wide receiver a year ago. Aiden Knappich is the left tackle. He is a junior. Senior Austin Hendren is the left guard. Alex Fouts is a senior at center. Cannon Ness is a senior at right guard. And Ashton Tripp is a sophomore at right tackle. Fouts, the center, the only returner on an offensive line that was tough to contend with a year ago. And you mentioned film. They look pretty tough still. They
look very good. I mean, I'm not sure who is running their offensive line over there, but I tell you, they look like a very seasoned, offensive line. But that also comes from the fact that a lot of those offensive linemen didn't get time because the ones that were ahead of them were on that semifinal team. But and they're running against their number 2 defense or their number 1 defense most of the time. So if they're running it right, that offensive line, like I've seen on film, is very good.
So that's a Kennewick team that's out to a 3-0 record last week. Battered Hanford 54-7. Richland win 22-7, and then beat Pasco to start the season at Edgar Brown Stadium 38-14. Starting lineups brought to you by Gawler Health continue. We take a look at the Hermiston offense, and in the offensive line, we see Sam Cadenas at left tackle, Adam Torrey at left guard, Francisco Atalano at center, Josh Fernandez at right guard, and Tyson Stalker at right tackle. They're a key tonight just to keep the offense on the field for longer than they were last week.
Yes, protecting the pigskin. Don't put it on the ground or put it in the other hands. A lot more confidence. That's what I'm going to say. Play with a lot more confidence tonight than we showed last week.
Running behind that offensive line will be Daniel Fatete. On senior night, he'll be honored along with the signal caller. Chase Elliott, the junior, is going to look to bounce back from the game against Walla Walla last week. He will be looking to throw to KJ Ramirez, the junior, still looking for his first reception. Riker McDonald and Sam Schwarzy, who had all 3 of last week's receptions for 23 yards. Last but not least, Spencer Jewell back in the lineup. He started last week, got knocked out last week, did go through the checks for concussion protocols, and has been cleared to be back in the starting lineup for Hermiston on both sides of the ball tonight of the utmost importance. We talk about missing Wagner. We talk about the importance of what Spencer Jewell can do all over the field.
Absolutely. Not only he's the same, he's just on the same book where Wagner was on. He's a returner, a very good defender, a very good receiver. And Eric, I misheard what you were saying. The most important thing about the offensive line is they keep their pad level low tonight and drive, through people so we can keep the ball in our offense's hands.
Well, let's drive ourselves into our keys to the game. So I mentioned the offensive line allowing for ball control, time of possession control. That is obvious. David Faitete gave us earlier today when we had Chalk Talk that they are looking for the defensive line to get some pressure on the quarterback, something they didn't have last week. For you, what's the thing you're picking out tonight?
Offensive-wise, is that offensive line, just doing each one of them doing their job. Defensive-wise is making their quarterback, Tanner, go to a secondary, receivers. Maybe having to go to one of his running backs coming out of the backfield and not having the big night with the wide receivers.
My key to the game, last 2 seasons, Kennewick has won in tight contests, and it's been fake punts that have been the game changers. Special teams in general, it's the third unit. We talk offense, we talk defense, we don't talk that much on the air about special teams. Can you win that facet of the game tonight against the Kennewick Lions? That will not necessarily secure everything. But if you don't do it, it does not allow for a victory here tonight at Kennewick Field against the Kennewick Lions. The Bulldogs are out, and they have finished all their different pregame festivities. We are going to honor the United States of America tonight with the singing of the national anthem. And we're going to keep it right here for that on the Sway Motors Tailgate Show. That's an actual crowd inside Bulldog Stadium waiting for kickoff, which is on the way. The coin toss next after this on AM 1360 KOHU. realize, oh, wait, I got a guy open. I've made the correct read. I'm going to make that throw.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, again, 3 completions, 4 interceptions last week. You can understand if he'd be a little bit shy. Reagan in the backfield, out to the right side. McCamey back with Elliott. Elliott will pull it out of McCamey and be pulled down after losing a yard back to the 12-yard line. Great penetration by Aiden Kennewick.
Yeah, 1 yard loss that time on the run by Chase. There was nowhere he could go that time. Both defensive ends pinched hard that time and got Seal inside.
And nobody went with Reagan as he flew out to the right, so all the linebackers stayed in the box as well. 2nd and 11 from the 12. Elliott to throw. Out to the far sideline. Has Schwarzy, and the senior is driven out of bounds after picking up 5 yards down to the 7-yard line.
Yeah, nice job that time again. That was a much better thrown ball by Chase that time.
Bulldogs will change the personnel package on 3rd down and 6 from the 7-yard line. And that includes Daniel Faitete back into the game, but also Caden Hotman. Riker McDonald will set up as an H-back to the right. Tight end to the right. And unhappy with exactly how that one looks, Randy Affelter wants a timeout. 4:26 on the clock in the first quarter, and Kennewick is leading Hermiston 14-0, but trying to keep the Bulldogs out. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. It is presented by Columbia Orthodontics. Weston McEwen picks up a win at home against Riverside, 33-6, the final score in that one. Last night in 1A, Pilot Rock 30-26 winners over Imbler. Stanfield blanked Umatilla 20-0, and Heppner is 3-0 after a 35-22 win over Grant Union. Tomorrow, Pendleton, Hood River Valley in the Roundup grounds at 1 o'clock. Both teams are 2-0 going into that one. A huge one for Hermiston girls soccer tomorrow at Chiawana. The Bulldogs are 7-0. They beat Pendleton on Tuesday in the Roundup City 2-0. And they are going to try to stay perfect and get their first win ever against Chiawana. We will talk to the head coach, Freddie Guizar, at halftime of this one. First quarter action. 4:26 on the clock. 14-0 is the Kennewick lead. Out of the Lions' timeout, 3rd down and 6 from the 7. Faitete to the left of Elliott, who motions Jewell in the backfield. It's a toss. Jewell running sweep to the left side. He's got the speed, but so does Howard, who pulls him down from behind. Back at the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 1 when fast beat by faster.
Yeah, that was too bad there. That took way too long to get developed. You know, they didn't get a seal on the outside out there, and it made way too hard. Howard
was the recipient of the 81-yard touchdown reception that made it 14-0. Hermiston has missed a field goal, so on 4th down and 7 to go from the 8, they will go for it. Elliott rolling right, looking left. Now he'll pull it down and run to the sideline, throws it incomplete into the sideline. There is a flag out at the end of the play. Chase Elliott and the White Hat are having a conversation as they run back towards the Hermiston side of Kennison Field. Intentional grounding is going to be the decision against Hermiston. It doesn't really matter anyways because it was an incompletion on 4th down, so it was going to be a turnover on downs anyways.
Yeah, and he's given he's given a loss of downs again, the signal. I mean, it was towards the end zone. I mean, that's the only thing you did.
Well, it didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, though.
That's true, too. That's true.
It didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. There was nobody in the vicinity.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, it really doesn't matter.
No.
It was a 4th down incompletion, so it's a turnover on downs. The only thing about it is it moves the ball to the 20-yard line for Kennewick as they take over with a 14-0 lead. 3:35 on the clock in quarter number 1. 81-yard touchdown pass on the last offensive play for Elijah Tanner, who's got empty backfield again. Looking to throw, pressured this time. Gets away from the pressure, rolling right. He will throw on the run downfield. A sliding catch made by Mora up to the 42-yard line. A 22-yard pitch and catch for Kennewick.
Out to the 42-yard line, first and 10.
Nice job that time by Hermiston up until the fact that they let them get outside their containment. You said that there was Mora on the catch?
Yeah, Mora, who is still out of the backfield. 3 right, 2 left. Hermiston student section, a group that got tickets, trying to make some noise. Left side for Howard on a sweep play. Howard bounces away from a tackler. Across midfield, is pulled down in Hermiston territory up to the 47-yard line. Good for 12 yards. And another movement of the chains for the Lions.
Ball be spot at the 46-yard line. First and 10, Kennewick.
Nice little toss forward that time by the quarterback of Kennewick. They're starting to read this, and Kennewick is getting some pretty good push out there.
First down and 10 at the 46-yard line. Tanner's got 2 of the backfield. He'll turn handoff to Mora. Mora stood up at the 45-yard line. Forward progress will get him a yard, but flying in from the secondary is the freshman linebacker, Ben Larson. We saw him make a couple of tackles on opening night, the win over Hanford. And Larson got himself back into the action again tonight. 2:25 left in the first quarter, and second down and 9 facing the Lions. Pistol set. Mora is standing behind Tanner, who's got to his left Barajas. Mora again. This time Mora will pick up 5 yards and be tripped up at the 40-yard line.
Cadenas that time on the tackle that time.
And Cadenas will switch out for Riker McDonald.
3rd and 4.
3rd down and 4 facing the Lions. Tanner's receiver options will all start off to the right. Now motioning out to the left is Howard. Barajas, the H-back, is moved right. That way, Tanner will roll to the right, pulls it down, caught, dropped, and for a loss of 2 yards back to the 42-yard line. Hopman in there on the stop along with Stalker.
Tackle for a loss.
Nice job that time by Hopman coming up hard and making the sure tackle. 2-yard loss on the play.
So, -2 means 4th down and a 6 from the 42. So, Kennewick will send out the punt team. Simeon Howard is the punter, and he will angle one high in the air towards the Hermiston sideline. Spencer Jewell will clear away from it. It takes a high bounce and is scooped up by Mora at the 11-yard line. That's where Hermiston will have it with 46 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Nice job that time. Spencer made a good decision of not going for that one there. It was just too high and too coverage well out there.
Well done, however. So Hermiston starts with poor field position again with 46 seconds left in the first quarter from the 12-yard line. First down and 10. Thomas Reagan in the backfield, waiting for his first carry of the night. He shifts to the right side of Chase Elliott, who's got 3 receiver options left. Motions Schwarzy into the backfield and out to the right. No running back there. Elliott is in trouble. He switches direction of the field, coming to the near sideline. He'll end up getting yards out of this for Hermiston. Diving over the top of the linebacker to the 13-yard line. Ended up making 2 out of nothing. I think Reagan went the wrong way for him. It was read option, but when you've got no running back, then there's nobody for the defensive end to dive down on.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, he ended up, Eric, they gave him 6 on that. But very good job. There was, I mean, when you're a deer in the headlights out back there, it kind of spooks you a bit.
Tight end left on 2nd down and 4 from the 18. Handoff Reagan running left. He's got speed to the outside. He's got a 1st down. Flag out as Reagan is stood up. He keeps driving his feet, being pushed, helped across the 30, all the way up to the 32.
Thomas Reagan.
Encouraging the team on a good power run.
Oh, holding.
It's all coming back, however, because of a holding penalty.
Yeah, that not good. It didn't look like a true hold there. It looked like he spun him, but it doesn't matter what we think up here because we can't see it. Nice run by Reagan. Good to see the quick feet back in there and the quickness.
It's that explosiveness that David Faitete talked to us about in Chalk Talk that was in our pregame coverage. Now, the holding penalty is going to come as the very last play of the first quarter. And it was from a couple of yards back in the backfield. And so the flag at the 15 means half the distance to the goal. Means Hermiston ended up losing just 70 yards on the holding penalty.
Their third of the night, and for 3 penalties for a total of 10 yards on the night. Hermiston's done very well, but that was a very, very crucial penalty.
So to be an untimed down to finish off the first quarter. Hermiston trailing 14-0 and facing 2nd down and 13. Elliott slaps his hands together. He'll hand off. Reagan again running left side. Reagan again will be upended up to the 14-yard line. Give him a couple of yards, end up getting 5 out of the deal in the last play of the first quarter. So the Lions with a 14-0 lead at Kennewick Field when we come.
After 1 period.
KOHU. both motioned at the same time. And
Yep.
Hermiston's going to go backwards 5 yards. Both Ramirez and whoever, it was Trevino.
Trevino, yeah.
They both moved at the same time to motion. I'm not sure where Ramirez was going. He's not going to be the outside receiver. It'll be the slot receiver. Wait. They're going to wave it off.
Huh?
They waved off the penalty.
Or are they just waiting to mark this thing off? They did wave it off.
Nope, they waved it off.
Wow.
Clock will start spinning again. A little more than 8 minutes left in the second quarter. And second down and a 10. Trevino motions right to left. Reagan will follow him with a handoff running left side. He breaks a tackle down the far sideline, bursts into the second level at the 40, comes back to the inside and is tripped up at midfield. What a burst of speed, Thomas Reagan for 27.
That's what we missed last week, and that ability to go ahead and have the breakaway. Nice job of getting it back into the game flow right now, Eric.
The thing for the Bulldogs is it has not been a great start to things, but 14-0. If you can score on the drive, now you get it back to a one-score game.
Yep.
Daniel Faitete in the backfield with Elliott. Trevino again, right to left, sweeping out to the left side. Handoff to Faitete, running the motion to the right. And then he dropped the ball. Fumble right on the midfield stripe. There's a pile, but Hermiston got back.
On top of it there, gets a 1 yard pickup on the play.
Spots at the stop. 2nd and 9.
Here at Kennison Field. Second down and 9 at the 49 in Kennewick territory. Elliott motions Jewell left to right. Toss. Jewell takes it. Running sweep right side. Jewell tripped up at the 44-yard line. 5-yard gain. The tackle made by Josiah Barajas, who's been active as a linebacker for this Kennewick team.
Yeah, now Hermiston just needs to keep this thing going.
Down 14-0, 6:25 on the clock in a quarter number 2. Third down and a 4. Sam Schwarzy, a late sub out wide to the left to that direction. And Elliott will keep. Got the first down. Elliott breaks a tackle. He's at the 30, weaving his way to the 25-yard line where Max Mayer, the safety, pulls him down. Elliott ends up rumbling for 18.
Yeah, time with that rush, that puts Elliott over 100 yards already, Eric, on the night on 8 carries, excuse me.
He had 96 last week. He was above 100 in week 1 at Hanford. He and Daniel Faitete both were above 100 yards in the win at Hanford. Schwarzy motions left to right. It'll be read option again. Handoff this time to Faitete. Turns his back and then keeps churning his feet inside the 20 all the way down to the 17-yard line. Second and third effort. Turn that into an 8-yard gain.
Nice pickup that time by Daniel. He, like I said, he is just so much stronger this year than he was last year. And that little push there, along with his offensive line coming ahead of him, good things.
Nose of the ball at the 17-yard line, right in the middle of the park. Second down and about 2 facing Hermiston. Faitete to the left of Elliott, who takes a snap and quick throws to Jewell out to the left side. Jewell motions back to his right. He'll have the first down yardage as he reaches forward, spun down at the 11-yard line, picks up 6. Can they finish the drive? Hermiston's been deep into Kennewick territory a couple of times already. With 5:01 left in the second quarter, they've still yet to find the end zone. Reagan back in. He'll be to the right of the junior quarterback, who puts his hands in front, slaps them together, takes the ball out of Reagan's belly and keeps it himself as he's pulled down The tackle on the play made by Cameron Ness after Elliott. The keeper gets him about 3 yards just to cross the 10.
Not a bad read that time because Reagan got hit as soon as he got pulled the ball out. And that same play that they ran the time before was Jewell out there all by himself, was wide open again.
Jewell is out to the left. Schwarzy in the slot right, and then Ramirez wide right. Pistol set. Elliott on 2nd down and 8. Look at the throw to Jewell. Jewell inside the 5. Breaks a tackle. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Hermiston.
Nice little swim move that time by Spencer to go ahead and shed that blocker.
9-yard touchdown pitch and catch, and Hermiston's on the board, and they're back down by just 1 score.
That was a huge score that time, Eric. You can even see the kids jumping up and down quite a bit more right now for Hermiston.
2nd touchdown reception of the season for Spencer Jewell, who is now the holder on this extra point attempt. Abel Alatorre, the freshman, did not miss one of these against Hanford. Did not get to try one last week. Flag out. So Alatorre will have to wait prior to taking this one. He did miss a field goal from 37 yards earlier. The penalty, is that the first on Kennewick?
Yes, it is.
A 1.5-yard penalty on Kennewick for their first of the game.
Oh, they're going to go for 2.
Hermiston's going to call a timeout. Down 14-6 with 4:07 left in the second quarter. Their second time out. And Chase Elliott throws the helmet back on and runs into the huddle. They call for Caden Hotman, so they're going to go for a power package here. And out to pick up that kicking tee, Abel Alatorre will just have to wait. Part of the freshman game, Hermiston in the freshman game, too many turnover problems for them. Alatorre, a running back for the freshman team, so going to spend his full allotment of quarters here tonight.
So if the Bulldogs can go and complete this conversion, Eric, that's a big pick-me-up for this Bulldog team.
Vaitete will be in the backfield with Elliott. Just Jewell, a receiver right. Tight ends and H-back to the right. It'll be tossed over the middle. Riker McDonald's got the 2-point conversion. Little play action, jump toss.
Nice job that time for the PAT and at least getting his big tight end into the game here.
So the Bulldogs down 14-8 with 4:07 left in the first half. We'll take the break on AM 1360 KOHU. 4-minute, 10-second drive for Hermiston goes 77 yards and gets them on the board for the first time since opening night. Their deficit is 14-8. Short kick, Eric Moore has got it at the 18-yard line, moving all the way out to the right side. Now he's got blockers in front. 35-40, down the far sideline into Hermiston territory, moves back to his left at the 35. Just Riley Clark if he can chase him down at the 10, at the 5. Clark does, pulling Mora down at the 4-yard line.
Eric Moore on the return.
I do want to check myself. Jesus Calderon is or was it Clark? They were both. No, it was Clark.
It was Clark, yes.
Clark ran him down. And Kennewick, after giving up that touchdown, now they're just 4 yards away from a quick answer back. A 79-yard kick return by Mora. Lions are a little bit discombobulated getting a ball in, so the play clock is not running yet.
That's what I don't get, why they should have already set it. Hey, that's got to be a timeout.
Was there laundry on the play? Everybody's moving backwards. There was laundry on the play.
What is
sideline infraction.
Oh, 15-yarder. Woo.
Sideline infraction. We'll move it back to the 18-yard line. Sure, we'll call it 15 yards, but that's actually 14.
Yes.
First down and 10. I mean, it's still golden field position for Kennewick, starting Hermiston territory for the second time tonight. Now they turned it over on downs the last time. Tanner, quick throw, right side. Immediately, Weinberger's got the catch on the receiver, and Cadenas comes to help. Yards back to the 21.
Yeah, that was
3 yards lost.
Yeah, that was smelled out very well that time by Weinberger.
Weinberger had a rough start to last week's game. He had 2 times where Aaron Lindsay beat him on one-on-ones in the end zone. And tonight he has made 3 fantastic plays, including this one that pushes Kennewick back to a second down and 13 from the 21 at the right hash mark. Tanner, pistol set with Mora behind him to throw. Tanner, pressure by Cadenas. Hit by Cadenas, dropped by Cadenas, sacked by Cadenas at the 30-yard line. Loss of 8 on the play.
Nice job that time. Cadenas got to the shoulder and brushed it right on by him and just kept on going.
And now it becomes 3rd down and a 22 from the 30-yard line. So Hermiston's defense tried to avoid the big play. They got to rush Daniel Faitete off late. They do so. Hermiston is still discombobulated out there with 3 receivers left. Tanner to throw. Screenplay set up. Dropped by Mora. Incomplete. Oh, Hermiston was not in a good place defense. And 21 with 2:26 left. Hermiston's only got 1 timeout, and the last 2 plays they've gotten good pressure on Tanner. Now, albeit the last play was a screenplay, so pressure is part of the deal. But do you quick kick here with Tanner? Does he have that in his tool bag? It's just a shotgun set. No, he's going to look to throw straight up. Pressured out of the pocket from McDonald. Hit as he throws by Cadenas downfield. Weinberger knocks it out, and a flag comes out on the play. Flags come out from a couple of different places on the play.
Wow.
Actually, the only one thing I thought maybe could be is pass interference. No, I thought Cadenas came pretty high on Tanner.
Yeah.
As he hit him as he threw, but that's not what the question was.
They're going to call it a holding on the break, or did they call it a
Well, there was a hold off of the play.
Right.
The back judge threw the penalty at the play Weinberger made, but prior to that, there was a holding penalty that was off of the play. Now, here's the thing. It's 15, but it's not an automatic first down, so Kennewick still has to face a 4th down play. Hermiston's still going to try to get off the field with 2:18 left in the first half. Down 14-8. Tanner rolling right, pressured that way, throwing to the goal line, incomplete, out of bounds, far sideline. Simeon Howard, the intended receiver.
Well, now they've got to, they've got 2:12 left here. They've got to get some positive things going again, Eric. They showed very, very good things with Reagan and some of the short passing turning into longer ones. That's what they got to come back with again.
Just one timeout remaining. And remember, a piece of that was the infraction on the 79-yard kick return that moved it back 15 yards.
Yep.
And then the Cadenas sack. Play clock down to 2. Elliott takes a snap, hands off, and it's Reagan. Reagan tries to switch his field back to the left. He'll be tripped up after a couple of yards to the 18, a 3-yard gain. Hermiston, no huddle. Riker McDonald, one of the 3 receiver options out to the right. 2nd down and 7. Elliott slaps his hands together. Stays in the pocket. Pump fakes. Now he'll pull it down. Looking left. He wants his man to go deep downfield. Rifles it to the FR sideline. Incomplete. He wanted Spencer Jewell to go downfield, but Jewell came back to him.
Yeah, he was right. He was pinned right across the, right on the sideline that time. If he would have tried to peel off, I do believe he probably would have went out of bounds and wouldn't have been able to get back into it anyway.
So 3rd down and 7. The clock is paused with 1:46 remaining. Kennewick's got 2 timeouts left, so you do have to be mindful of your clock situation here if you don't convert. Elliott will roll to the right. Pressured that way by Kennewick. Elliott way downfield, intercepted by Mayer. Right around the 44-yard line is where he'll take it. They'll say 45 is where he's marked out. There's a flag out at the back of the play.
Penalty marker on the play.
And with 1:38 left in the quarter and 2 timeouts remaining for the Lions, their lead is 14-8.
Yeah, and Hermiston cannot afford to give up a big play right now because they do have some capabilities of being able to kick the ball decent, but can't give up another score before the half.
Well, the way that things have been going here, Kennewick's had so many chances. How many lives do the Bulldogs have? Down by just 6. 1st down and 10 for Elijah Tanner. He will play action. Throw left side. Open is Ridley. Ridley hammered. Flag out on the play on the Spencer Jewell tackle at the 37-yard line.
That was initiated by the running back, the receiver that time. They're going to call him for targeting. They're going to call for hitting him in the helmet.
They mark at the 38-yard line. Personal foul and a targeting penalty against Jewell. So 15 yards tacked on to the end of what was an 8-yard pitch and catch. Move it down to the 23-yard line. And 1st down and 10. 94 seconds remaining in the first half.
It'd be nice for them to be able to see the replay because that was initiated by the receiver coming in at Spencer.
1st down 10. Hermiston will blitz. Tanner rolling to the right. Throw it to the end zone. Out of play. Howard in the vicinity, but an incompletion again.
Complete. 2nd and 10.
Well, just got to buck it up again, defense, and hold this Lion team out here at the 23.
Second down and 10 at the 23-yard line. Left hash mark set. Ridley is the receiver left. Mayer's the tight end left. Two receiver options right. Tanner looking to throw. Quick throw out to the right side, completed to Stoddard. Stoddard knocked out of bounds, and a flag's going to come out. This one is going to be Reagan for a late hit after the receiver was out of bounds.
Penalty marker on the play.
Was it Reagan or no? That was Trevino on the late hit.
No, it was Reagan. Penalty will move it down. Here are going to complain about that one vocally, as you can hear in the crowd mic, but that one was a late hit. That was correctly assessed, and for Hermiston, now they face a first down and goal from the 70-yard line. Tanner pulls it out. He'll run right, comes back to his left, into the end zone, drops the ball, but it's after he scores. On a 70-yard touchdown run with 1:06 left in the first half, Kennewick back out in front by 2 scores. So first time we've seen read option from Tanner tonight. Remember, he was a receiver a year ago. So it's not like this is not within his wheelhouse, and Kennewick takes advantage of it. Now Gavin Madsen to add the extra point. Madsen puts it through, 1:06 left in the second quarter. Kennewick's lead is 21-8 when we return on AM 1360 KOHU.
Remaining in half. Kennewick 21, Bulldogs 8.
Halftime yet left, Landon. I may be off on my breaks, but this is not. .106 left in the first half, and Hermiston had pulled to within 6. They had, it felt like, grabbed some of the momentum, and Kennewick was able to take advantage of an interception, a couple of personal fouls, and 21-8 is now their lead as Gavin Madsen has it teed up to kick it away. And a flag out, and Kennewick is going to get called for a procedure penalty on the kickoff.
Wow.
We don't see a lot of those.
No, you don't, especially since they don't allow, the stacking up anymore, and that's, you just don't see them misreading.
So, how about Madsen from the 35-yard line? This is where my head's at right now.
See, I'm just kind of wondering why we have both sets within 10 yards of each other. The other one should be up here about the, maybe even 5 yards, 10 yards up farther at the. Yeah, now they're moving up.
Well, but where I was going with that is, okay.
Well,
how much does Randy Offhalter want to gamble?
Oh, yeah.
Because especially after the 5-yard penalty, now you don't think about onside at all. And you're right, it stretches out. Yeah, there's 5 guys on that front line 10 yards away.
Yep.
But Madsen's going to kick a squibber. Roll and pick up. Well, bobbled. And now picked up to the near sideline. Robert Sloan doesn't have a lot of place to go, so he'll usher it out of bounds at the 30-yard line. After about a 70-yard, 8-yard return, they'll mark it at the 31, and that's where Hermiston will have it with 61 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, I was just worried that they were going to be able to get it up there, and why that next line of attack was so far, was so close to the very back line.
So Chase Elliott, 2 in the backfield, 2 options to his left. Looking to throw. Some crossing routes, long developing, and throws it to Schwarzy, who catches it on the near sideline. 55 seconds remaining.
34-yard line. Gain of 3. Second and 6.
Second down and 7 to go from the 34. 3 options left. Elliott will pull it down. Elliott will throw it backwards to Reagan in the flat left, and Reagan does end up swimming forward back to the line of scrimmage.
Reagan on the reception from Elliott.
Yeah, right now, Hermiston went right back to when Kennewick got that score. Kennewick's defense is a little bit inspired right now. It's starting to get after Hermiston's offense, which at this point is not stretching the field whatsoever.
As many good things happen for Kennewick in this half. I mean, there's a point where Hermiston's down 14-8. They're feeling pretty good about things. And, you know, I think Kennewick has looked for kind of, can we get a early TKO in this thing? And they just haven't been able to, following the analogy all the way out, land that punch. And so they keep looking for it here before the teams head into the locker room. Hermiston down 21-8, 44 seconds left. Elliott drops the snap, picks it back up. Rolling left, will dump it off and right. McDonald has it. I think he's just short of the first down yardage. He goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Yep, it's a gain of 6. They needed 7. So 4th down and 1 with 37 seconds left. What does David Faitete and Mike Mosier think about gambling? Offense is walking towards the near sideline. And Hermiston will call their timeout and think about, do you want to try to convert 4th down and 1? I don't think they had the right personnel on for that.
Well, I think they were trying to get an answer as to why when McDonald went out, where the ball was at was in his lead hand. He might have went out there, but it looked like he might have been able to get that ball position right at the line or just over the line. But there again, it's the official that's trailing the ball from the far side of the field is the one that actually pretty much spotted that. Because the other guy on the far side was down deep.
Well, the spot of the ball is on the 40, so Hermiston needs a yard, and they're going to leave the offense on the field out of this timeout. Their last of the half with 37 seconds remaining. Faitete and Elliott. Faitete is a couple of steps in front of Elliott. It's almost set up like it's going to be a quick kick,
yep.
And it will be. Elliott, left foot, quick kicks it and angles it towards the Kennewick sideline. It's going to be a question of where did this go out of bounds?
37-yard line, 1st and 10, Kennewick.
Wow, Kennewick's got an argument about that spot of the ball, too. 37-yard line is where they're going to set it. That's where it hit the ground, but it was 6 yards out of play when it hit the ground, 6 feet out of play when it hit the ground. They did not get a good spot there, and Hermiston kind of a beneficiary of that. Kennewick's got a timeout and 31 and a half seconds before the teams head to the locker room for the break. Elijah Tanner, Eric Moore, Tanner to throw, pressured, dumps it underneath for Moore. Moore is shoved out of bounds by McCamey. Boy, McCamey making a nice play from his linebacker position.
Number 5, Eric Moore.
Good read on the screen. In fact, McCammy's going to get a tackle for a loss on that play because it's a loss of a yard. Clock does stop with 26 seconds remaining in half number 1. Line of scrimmage just across the 35. Tanner hands off. Mora into the second level. Bounces left and breaks a tackle. He's going to be stood up. McDonald pulling him back. And eventually, Mora's end up tumbled down back at the line of scrimmage. But forward progress is going to take him all the way up to the 47-yard line.
And a nice job that time by Riker McDonald and by Reagan actually getting the big hit and stopping him. But
try to go one last play here. Tanner is going to snap the ball as the buzzer sounds, and he'll throw it far sideline, deep downfield, incomplete, off of the back of the defender Schwarzy, intended for Simeon Howard, and that will bring us to halftime. With Kennewick in front, 21-8 here at Hermiston High School's Kettison Field at Bulldog Stadium. When we come back at the half, we will talk with head coach of the Hermiston girls soccer team, Freddie Guizar, next on AM 1360 KOHU.
our community, our town, our family. All right? Way to represent them. All right? Way to put it on the line. Like we do every night. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family! Go team!
Halftime here at Bulldog Stadium. Eric Olson and Sonny Levy with you.
This one's all out, gentlemen. Family on 3, family on me. 1, 2, 3.
Mixer.com/1360 KOHU. Easiest way to find that, go to gohermiston.com. Our web stream is brought to you by Eastern Oregon Telecom Internet at the speed of life. Here in the CMG Financial broadcast booth, we're looking down on a mostly empty field right now, and a Hermiston deficit currently against Kennewick at 21-8. Kennewick scored early, a minute and a second into the game. Max Mayer, a 2-yard reception from Elijah Tanner on the next drive. This one was an 81-yard reception from Tanner to Simeon Howard, and 14-0 was the score after the first quarter. Trade possessions, trade mistakes. Eventually, Hermiston was finally able to end a drive with Spencer Jewell from 9 yards out on a pass from Chase Elliott. And then the 2-point conversion, Elliott to Riker McDonald, cut the lead down to 6. However, trade mistakes both ways, and Kennewick was able to get Tanner from 70 yards out on the ground to go up by the score line they have now. Sonny, let's take a look at some stats from the first half.
Well, it was fairly early out there, fairly good out there. I mean, Kennewick had the ball for a total of 24 plays in that first half, some big plays for a total of 198 offensive yards. They were 10 rushes for 44 yards. They were 8 for 14 for 154. Mayer had 2 receptions for 35. Ridley 1 for 8. Howard 2 for 93. Stoddard 1 for a -3, and Mora 2 for 21. Rushing wise, though, it was Tanner with 3 rushes for a -3 yards, but a touchdown, because he was sacked for the big one. Eric Mora was 6 rushes for 43 yards, and Kellen Weeble was 1 for 4. Kennewick had 10 first downs in the first half, were penalized 3 times for 21.5 yards. For Hermiston had the ball for a total of 39 plays in the first half. They were 22 for 160 on the ground and 12 for 17 for 77 yards through the air. The rushers, Chase Elliott, 9 rushes for 111 yards. Daniel Faitete, 6 rushes for 19 yards. Thomas Regan, a good return for him so far, 5 for 31. And Riley Clark, 1 for a -2 yards. Again, 22 rushes for 160 yards. Passing-wise, Chase was 12 of 17 for 77 yards. Spencer Jewell, 6 receptions, 47 yards and a touchdown. Sam Schwarzy, 3 receptions, 13 yards. Riker McDonald, 2 for 8 yards, and Ramirez, 1 for 9 yards. Hermiston had a total of 12 first downs in the first half, but they also were penalized 6 times for about 40 yards.
21-8 is the deficit Hermiston faces, and we'll get you a look at the Columbia Orthodontics scoreboard when we come back. And the second half kickoff is next on AM 1360 KOHU. Let's take a look at your scoreboard. It's brought to you by Columbia Orthodontics. This one just came in. LeGrand winner at Vail, 20-19, the final score in that one. Weston McEwen, 33-6 winners at home against Riverside. That was a 3:30 kickoff this afternoon. The MCC at the half, Chiawana 21-0. Taking on the Walla Walla Blue Devils. Some senior day soccer at Milt Duran Field in Umatilla. And the Riverside teams sweep the Vikings, with the Riverside girls winning 3-0 and the Riverside boys up 9-2. The Hermiston girls soccer team, as we highlighted in our conversation with the head coach, playing at noon tomorrow at Chiawana. Volleyball is headed to Hood River Valley tomorrow, and at Vanette Court they'll take on the Eagles and the Ridgeview Ravens. Slow pitch softball is next to Tuesday at Pasco, and Hermiston cross country at Richland tomorrow for another MCC three-way, and they are getting ready for, at the end of the month, the Washington State Cross Country Coaches Association virtual state meet, where Troy Blackburn's team will run on the track. Actually, from what I understand it, probably because of scheduling with spring track, they will run the virtual cross-country meet at the Armin Larvey track. So they run on the track so that you can run on tracks all around the state of Washington and, of course, here in Hermiston, and put your times together, and that's how you will determine it. For the Hermiston girls, this is a team that has not been beat yet in any of their MCC events, so they are a team that has eyes on trophy possibly in this virtual competition.
Yeah, that's kind of different, trying to figure out how, where were we up in Hanford when the AD up there was talking about how they were going to run these, virtual track meets and stuff like that. And I says, wow, that is a tough way to do it.
Seeing if we got anything else from the MCC. Kamikin's got a 14-0 lead, although that was quite early on in the contest. Late in the second quarter, actually, here it is, 28-0 for the Braves. They are just getting ready to start the second half in this one, as we are in ours, with a 21-8 lead for Kennewick. Seems like everybody was enough stretching after 2 minutes, so the 3-minute stretching period was paused with a minute and 20 seconds left in it. And everybody's decided, yeah, we're ready to go. So Gavin Matson, here's the ball. And put it on the tee, and it fell off the tee. And so he's back to replace the ball. And Hermiston is going to start with the ball here in the second half. Riley Clark to the right. And Sam Schwarzy to the left. The deep men both at about the 5-yard line, waiting for Matson, who has squibbed it each time. This is going to be an onside kick. What takes one hop and is hauled in. Right in the middle of the field. That's the freshman, Ben Larson, who has tackled tonight and has now made that sure-handed play.
Nice job by Larson of, being ready for the possible onside kick and getting great position for the Hermiston Bulldogs.
So the Bulldogs down 21-8, start at the 45-yard line. Best starting field position for them tonight. And Chase Elliott goes to work on first down and 10. The back, Reagan to his right. He'll hand off. Thomas Reagan running to the left side. Stutter steps and is tripped up after a 3-yard gain to the 48-yard line. Pulled down on the play by Weibel, the sophomore linebacker.
Nice job that time. He kind of knifed right in there, and unfortunately the hole really closed awful fast once he made that cut, but at least he is going north and south on the run.
Spencer Jewell is the receiver to the right. Schwarzy and Ramirez to the right. Jewell alone to the left on second down and a 7. Kennewick showing a blitz. They will bring it. Quick throw, right side. Reagan in the backfield. Stood up immediately. Great read by Max Mayer, the senior safety. Came up and ended up tackling for a 5-yard loss on the play.
Yeah, that was definitely just a pass a little bit forward. They read that right out of the chute out there.
They read it so well. It looked like Mayer was coming on a safety blitz, and he wasn't. He was just coming straight down the line because he knew that Reagan in the flat was the play. Reagan to the right of Elliott, and Coy McCamey to the left. Elliott to throw. Reagan stays in to block. Lots of time over the middle. Too far, incomplete, off of the fingertips of Schwarzy.
Elliott's pass intended for number 15.
Shows the strength of Chase's arm that time. He threw it too hard. I mean, it was a good pass, but right down the middle and out through his receiver.
So 4th down and 11, and the Bulldogs will end up having a punt on the opening drive of the second half. And that is Spencer Jewell's job here tonight. And the freshman Abel Alatorre still doing the kicking. But Jewell on his first punt of the night, the long snap did not get to him, nor does this one. Jewell gets it away under some pressure by Howard. He booms this one at the 25-yard line. Mayer going to work. Mayer far sideline. Hesitates, gets around a blocker, and is out of bounds at the 40-yard line after a 15-yard return. Kennewick up 21-8, has the ball with 10:27 left in quarter number 3. Spencer Jewell was second team all Mid-Columbia Conference punter Trevor Wagner's understudy a year ago. And so the senior has taken the job here tonight. First down and 10 at the 40-yard line. Elijah Tanner in a pistol set. He'll turn and hand off, and right up the middle for Eric Mora, who is met by the linebacking core after a 3-yard gain to the 43.
First one in there looked like Stalker might have been the first, and then Hopman on the assist.
Ball right in the middle of the park. Wide to the left, Jose Arellano. Mayer inside of him. Simeon Howard, who had the 81-yard touchdown to the right in the slot. And then Trevor Ridley outside him. Low snap, picked up, quick throw. And Howard has it and dives forward at the 49-yard line. He's pulled down by McCamey, short.
The first and 10. 4th and a yard.
Scott Hammond, more than a decade here in Hermiston for, well, the last 5 years. As long as David Faitete's been in charge of the program, he's been the defensive coordinator, signaling the play for 3rd down and 1. Press coverage on the outside by the cornerbacks, and every single Hermiston Bulldog on the defensive line jumped. And so 3rd down and 1 will become 1st down and 10 on Hermiston's side of the 50. Down to the 46-yard line is where the ball is spotted. Eight minutes and 58 seconds on the paused clock here in the 3rd quarter. Now it's spinning, and now Kennewick's broke the huddle, trying to add on to their 21-8 lead on this drive. Elijah Tanner has 2 touchdown passes and a touchdown run. The senior quarterback in a pistol set will straight drop. Now step up in the pocket. Gets caught by Riker McDonald and scrambles for 5.
Gain out to the 42-yard line.
Job of going ahead and making sure he secured the edge first, and then followed right up behind his defensive tackle for that tackle himself.
Tony Cervantes in a receiver to the right. In the slot inside of him is Howard again. Mayer and Ridley to the left. Tanner will hand off to Moore. Moore running right. Caught by Cadenas, and Cadenas will take him down. A flag out at the end of the tackle.
Oh, come on.
And Sam Cadenas, he takes his helmet off as he's walking back away from the penalty that was flagged against him. David Faitete is out
So
to the
what-
numbers, and Rick Wells is out grabbing him by the back of his shirt and pulling him back. And Cadenas is going to have to leave. He'll have to leave the field for a play because his helmet came off, which is, I will give the White Hat this restraint. That's better than a second unsportsmanlike. But Cadenas is called for the tackle. Now, Faitete is, first off, a former Division I defensive lineman and wants to know exactly how a tackle becomes a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, and that's nuts there. That is as much as a running back.
Gets all the way down to the 28-yard line, though.
From the 50, yeah.
They'll spin the clock, 7:56, and to run up the middle all the way down to the 15-yard line. Ends up being a 13-yard run play on the keeper by Tanner. So first down and 10 for the Lions. Trying to add under their 21-8 lead. Moore behind Tanner. Play action. Throw. Slant play. Dropped by Mayer. Incomplete.
Well, that was 6. The defender that time that was trying to jump the pass and had a 2-yard edge on him right up the middle.
I'm still kind of perplexed on how the ball got to the 28 after the penalty. Second down and 10 from the 15. At some point, I'll explain why. Tanner, play action, throw again, left side, ball knocked away. Defensive play made by Trevino. So,
Do you think there were 2 dead ball penalties?
well, no, because it was essentially 20 yards, because the line of scrimmage was the 47.
But the flag was still.
At the 50, but like forward progress would be the 42 at the best, so getting down to the 28 is still just too much. Tanner, screenplay, incomplete. Mora was in traffic. Trevino defended it really well along with Hopman as Hermiston pressured and forces the fourth down. And fourth down and 10. Kennewick will look to add points with a field goal. 7:16 left in the third quarter. The Lions to make it a 16-point game. 32-yard attempt for Gavin Matson, the senior. Kicks with his right foot out of the hold of Tanner. Low snap, it bounces twice. Tanner picks it up. Tanner's in trouble, and Tanner will be tackled by a gang of Bulldogs. Right around the 23-yard line is where Hermiston forces the turnover on downs.
Looked like Stocker was the first to get there, and Faitete in on the first assist, and then the rest of the team just came to help.
Thomas Reagan is in the backfield. I think this is one of the biggest things about having Thomas back is Daniel Faitete can play primary snaps on the defensive side and then sub in on the offensive side. Toss play sweep, right side run for Jewell. Jewell puts his head down and is pulled down. The 27-yard line. 6 minutes, 45 seconds left in the third quarter. Bulldogs down 21-8. Elliott's got a back to his left, 2 receivers that way as well. KJ Ramirez alone to the right. Elliott turns, hands off. This is Faitete. Faitete barrels his way up to the 30-yard line. Third down and Jewell, Trevino, Riker, McDonald to the left, Ramirez alone right. Kennewick walks up wide with the linebacker. Out of the backfield, Faitete left, fake it that way, back to Ramirez, incomplete. Ramirez was backing up, Elliott threw it downfield. The two were well off of the same page. And then completion brings up 4th down and 3. Initially.
Nice job that time. Nice coverage by Hermiston and to be able to go ahead and get back there and do a fantastic job on it.
Well, and it was like a 47-yard punt. Abel Alatorre is going to be a really great punter for Hermiston for the next 3 years, but Spencer Jewell gets the punt for the next 2 weeks.
Yes, he does.
He just crushed that ball. 1st down and a 10. Elijah Tanner back to work with Eric Moore behind him at a pistol set from the 35 right hash mark. Slant play left. Has Howard. Simeon Howard pulled down at the 45-yard line. 9-yard gain on the play. And in there on the stop was Jesus Cup.
Ball is 1st and 10.
Calm about the things I complain about, but spotting the ball on a artificial turf field shouldn't be 6 feet off.
No.
1st down and 10 from the 46-yard line, which should be the 44. Handoff Moore. Moore is going to get some yards across midfield as he gets piled up at the Hermiston 49-yard line, a 5-yard gain.
Nice job that time by Cadenas in there right at the bottom of the pile.
It's kind of like if a pitcher paints the outside corner at the knees with a fastball, and you're like, the 2-2's in there for a strikeout. Oh, it's called a ball. Oh, the 9-yard. Oh, it's just. I would love it to sound less dumb, and it's already an uphill battle. 2nd down and 5 from the 49 in Hermiston territory. Tanner, deep ball, right side, incomplete. Weinberger on the coverage. What a turnaround Marcus Weinberger has had from last week to this week.
Absolutely.
And what a job he is doing locking down their speedster.
Well, he's got 3 batted balls, I do believe, tonight, and has just absolutely stayed on the hip of their number 1 receiver out there.
And when Simeon Howard caught the 81-yarder, he was in the slot. It wasn't Weinberger on him. Actually, well, it was nobody on him because he found a hole in the defense. 3rd down and 5. Kennewick up 21-8. 4:37 left in the third quarter. To throw. Deep ball. Wheel route near sideline. Bobbling ball at the sideline.
They're going to call that a catch.
Mora, given the catch, they're going to talk about it first.
He's bobbling it.
The officials are saying it was bobbled. They will say it's a catch at the 21-yard line.
My.
24-yard gain.
That he was bobbling it the whole time out there.
So Kennewick extends the drive with just under 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Their lead is 21-8. Trips receivers to the right, Max Mayer to the left. Mora behind Tanner. Tanner hands to Mora, running behind the right guard. Pulled down by McCamey at the 16, make it the 17-yard line. About a 4-yard gain. Ben Larson onto the field for McCamey, who's a little bit hobbled trying to make his way to the sideline. Dan Emery out there along with David Faitete to help McCamey off. McCamey has done a lot for Hermiston in that linebacker position. The 4-2-5 defense. So Hermiston relies on McCamey and Hotman. And right now, they're relying on Larson. And Larson's made a couple of big plays tonight. He's the freshman. Him and Abel Alatorre, two freshmen that contribute quite a bit. We have seen Tanner McCoy, another freshman, play a little bit. That was in week 1. Second down and a 6 to go. Tanner rolling right. Batted ball up into the air, batted again, and then dropped incomplete.
Nice job that time by Cadenas getting a push, just absolutely blowing up that offensive tackle on that side and then getting his hands in the air.
Sam Cadenas is going against Ashton Tripp, who's their right tackle. Tripp's only a sophomore, and he is gaining valuable experience through a lot of unfortunate events tonight.
Yeah, that's it.
Cadenas is all over it.
He is a beast. That time he just absolutely both hands shucked right on each shoulder pad and drove him about 5 yards deep.
3rd down and 6. Hermiston jumps. Hard count by Elijah Tanner. It'll make it 3rd and short, moving the ball up to the 12-yard line. Penalties a problem again tonight for Hermiston.
Yeah, that's their 9th penalty on the night already, Eric, for 63 yards on the night.
What was that?
That's their ninth penalty on the night for 63 yards. Just strictly because 2 of those only equaled 3 yards on the night.
Third down and 1. Tanner bobbles it. Keeps it running left. Got around Larson to the edge. Breaks a tackle and is pulled down. It's Cadenas who makes the diving play at the 5. Give him 7. It was at the 12, so 1st down and goal at the 5. Lions looking to add on to 21-8. Their advantage right now with 2:40 left in quarter number 3. Mora, pistol set, stays in the block as Tanner rolls to the right, dumps it off, dropped by Mayer.
Fastball's incomplete. 2nd and goal.
Hermiston is here. It would have had an opportunity to get in, or Hermiston was closing really, really quick on that play.
Second down and goal. Now moving extra back into the backfield to the right shoulder of Tanner. The senior quarterback turns and hands, and it's Moore up the middle. Moore at the goal line. His offensive line trying to push him. The rugby scrum gets to the 1.
Faitete on the tackle there.
3rd and goal from the 1. Under center, Tanner. He will keep it himself. Does Hermiston stand up to him? No indication yet.
Stop! Get it done, boys!
Just short of the goal line. Tanner under center again.
Oh, that's a penalty.
Keep it again, Tanner.
That's
I don't think he got there anyway.
Shoving his center forward before the ball was ever snapped.
Now, Hermiston gets another stop. 53 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. They're down 21-8. But now the tail of the ball is 3 inches out of the end zone. Faitete and Elliott in the end zone in the backfield. And Elliott's got to call a timeout. The play clock was down to 1.
Yeah.
So Hermiston down 21-8, about a minute left in the 3rd quarter. You're listening to Bulldog Football on AM 1360 KOHU. Fly sweep, Spencer Jewell runs right. Elliott keeps it going left. The ball is knocked out and recovered in the end zone for a touchdown. Josiah Barajas has it for a touchdown, is the indication. Elliott on a keeper running to the left. And David Faitete talking with Elliott. There's not any protesting going on from Hermiston. So after everything the defense has done, all the stops, the goal line stop on the 3-inch line, a fumble recovery for a touchdown in the end zone by Kennewick extends their lead to 3 scores. High snap, it's down, and Matson puts it through to make it a 28-8 lead for the Kennewick Lions. I know we just took a break. We're going to take another on AM 1360 KOHU. What's 10? It was Josiah Barajas recovered the fumble in the end zone and a 20-point lead for Kennewick on a wild change of fortunes. And now there's another one. Fumble on the kickoff, dropped and recovered by the Lions at the 33-yard line. And it started raining and pouring here at Bulldog Stadium.
Looked like that time that Calderon was coming up trying to pick that ball up out of the air. And
I think it was John Crumwoody, the senior. I think it was 18. Yeah, it was. He's down here talking to the coach.
Okay. I just couldn't tell exactly. Okay, Crumweedy, okay.
But for Hermiston, what is that? The
third fumble and the second lost and the interception.
Two fumbled snaps as well, so they've lost 2. They've actually put 5 on the ground tonight. First down and 10 from the 33. Tanner under center, play action, throws deep ball right side, and Weinberger got away with a tug there on the jersey. Hey, but when you're having a good night at cornerback, sometimes you get a little extra.
Yes, you do. That you get a little bit of a break that time because he has had a very good night back over there.
So 28-8 is the score. 35 seconds left. The different things the defense has done tonight to keep this scoreline where it's at right now. Second down and 10 from the 33. This would be another one. Can they get off the field again without conceding more points? Hold off to Moore. Moore running left. Breaks one tackle. Keeps his feet churning inside the 30. And now the Pile's going to push all the way. They'll say forward progress to the 27. About a 5-yard gain.
By Mora. Third and 5.
Looks like Stalker in on the stop that time.
Kennewick huddled. They're not going to call another play here before the end of the third quarter. 28-8 after 3 quarters of action here at Kennewick Field. And we'll be back with the fourth on AM 1360 KOHU. Kennewick 28, Hermiston 8 as we start the fourth quarter of action here in Bulldog Stadium down on Kennewick Field. The Lions have a 3rd down and 5 at the Hermiston 27-yard line. I guess the mindset's got to be this is 4-down territory. So you got to make not 1 stop but 2. Tanner to throw. Deep ball to the end zone over the top. Incomplete.
Tanner's pass falls incomplete.
Looking for Ridley.
Third and 5.
Over the top of Weinberger. I mean, right now, as far as Delish Bistro player of the game goes, I've got Marcus Weinberger in the lead.
Yeah, it's either got to be
With
Weinberg or
him
Cadenas.
and Cadenas.
Yeah.
4th down and 5. They're going to go for it. Tanner to throw. Quickly, right side. Caught on the sideline. Tackle broken. And another by Howard. Howard inside the 10 and pulled down at the 70-yard line. 20-yard gain and a first down for the Lions. Simeon Howard, in relative terms, has been quiet tonight. Quiet with that 20-yard catch plus an 81-yard reception earlier this evening. He hasn't actually been quiet, just it could have been a lot bigger.
Yeah, his night has just been those 2 big plays right there that have kept the drives going and the touchdown.
1st and goal from the 7. Hermiston has stopped a couple of goal line situations here tonight. Handoff to Moore. He gets 2 to the 5-yard line.
Down to the 5. 2nd and goal.
Riker McDonald, Tyson Stocker in on the stop for Hermiston. 2nd and goal from the 5, a half minute into the 4th quarter. The pressure on the defense here is down by 20. They have to find a way to stop this drive after the kickoff fumble.
Yeah, this is imperative right now. They've got to stop this.
Tanner's going to go under center and 2nd down and goal from the 5-yard line. Quick throw. Flouted out to the left side and incomplete.
Pass falls incomplete from Tanner. 3rd and goal.
Tanner just not able to find the touch on those fade routes.
You know, he's thrown the ball 26 times right now, Eric, for 215 yards so far. Howard, 130 of those yards because of those 2 big plays. And, you know, everybody else has just caught a couple of little short passes in between everything.
Howard, Mayer, and Ridley to the left. And Austin Stoddard to the right. Mora, pistol set, 3rd down and goal from the 5. Tanner to throw. Pulls it down, pressured. Over the middle, touchdown. Mayer had it. He flipped it up into the air. A couple of pleas for incompletion, but it was a catch and a touchdown. The 5-yard score with 10:52 on the clock in the 4th quarter extends the Kennewick lead to 34-8. And now Matson on for the extra point. He's 4 for 4. And now he is 5 for 5.
10:52 remaining in the 4th period. Kennewick 35, Bulldogs 8.
So at this point, you have to start thinking about new terms to things. There's unlikely a comeback. So what do you try to look for in more or less the entirety of the 4th quarter here? Because now you do start counting quarters. Well, there's 5 quarters left in this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you got 5 quarters left in the season, and right now, virtually for the remainder of this quarter right now, you've got to be able to go ahead and come back and score. You've got to show your toughness in this game, and just forget it. Try and forget what's been happening the whole time, and just put a score on the board. That's going to give you a little bit of momentum and hope for 2 scores.
After 35-28 at Hanford's Franrish Stadium on the campus of Richland High School on opening night 3 weeks ago, Hermiston has just the touchdown tonight in the 2nd quarter when Spencer Jewell caught the 9-yard pass from Chase Elliott. So the offense is looking for that rhythm. Short bounding ball taken by Clark at the 5-yard line. Clark moving to the left side of the field at the 25-30. He'll spin himself around and be pulled down by Jose Arellano up to the 36-yard line. It's a 31-yard return for Riley Clark, and Hermiston's got decent field position to work with.
Yeah.
with 10:46 left in quarter 4.
Nice job that time of Clark coming up and picking that up in the, off the turf and bringing it straight forward.
Elliott and Daniel Faitete in the backfield. Thomas Reagan was getting stretched out on the sidelines. Elliott holding the ball, now rolling out to the right on kind of a delayed play. Diving catch by Schwarzy. That became something out of nothing for 70 yards on that play.
Elliott's pass complete.
Yeah, that was a nice job that time. And, for some reason that time there, he tried to get his receivers to release, and they just didn't release for him.
Everybody was on a different play. And I almost think that everybody thought that was a run play there, except for the running back and the quarterback. 2nd down and 3, Elliott to throw. Near sideline, Riker McDonald's got it with some space across the 45. And McDonald is shepherded out of bounds at the 48-yard line by Max Mayer. But gain of 5 at a 1st down.
Reception was good for the 1st and 10. Ball's on the 47-yard line.
Trips formation to the right for Elliott. Spencer Jewell alone to the left. Faitete to the left shoulder of the junior quarterback. He's got his hands in front, bent at the waist. Low snap pulled down at the waist. Throw it high, incomplete over McDonald. Trying to go into the slot, down the seam, and instead an incompletion in 2nd and 10.
Nice look that time because Riker had a long way to run still. There was nobody close, but just a little bit of an air ball underneath that.
So at the 48-yard line on the Hermiston side of the 50, Bulldogs have 2nd down and 10. They'll go empty backfield for Elliott.
Have the same alignment defensively. It's wide open again, Eric.
They walked up the linebacker. They'll blitz 5. Elliott on the run, and he will just sit down. End up losing a yard on the play.
Down for no gain. 3rd and 10.
They had gone empty quarterback draw, and they did it again, and Elliott is kind of bent over and appearing to be in some pain, favoring his right leg. On 3rd down and 11. Weibel steps up, the outside linebacker, showing blitz again from the edge. Elliott will snap it. Kennewick rushes 4. Lots of time for Elliott in the pocket. Moving to his left. Throwing downfield. Bobbling. Catch by Trevino into Kennewick territory down to the 39.
Number 9, Trevino. Good for the 1st and 10.
Good job by making extra space. 13-yard gain. Hermiston going no huddle on 1st down and 10 from the 39. Back to the left. Elliott takes the snap, stays in the pocket. Now he steps up, pressured out of the pocket, and he will slide down, gaining a yard up to the 38-yard line. But it appears Reagan is out. He's been having his hamstring stretched out. Now he's trying to do it himself. Elliott, play action, throws near side. Jewell's got it on the screen. Jewell breaks a tackle. He's shoved out of bounds by the sophomore Weibel at the 30-yard line after a gain of 8. 8 minutes, 44 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. And Hermiston trails Kennewick 35-8. Elliott slaps his hands together, rolls to the right to throw to the sideline. Caught by Trevino, who's pushed out of bounds just across the 20 into the red zone. Mayer on the stop, but not before a 12-yard gain.
Again, that was a nice throw by Chase that time. That was right on the money, and Trevino was able to get it out of bounds for a 1st down on the reception.
1st down and 10 from the 18. Trevino motions left to right. A jump by Kennewick. And into the neutral zone will give Hermiston 5 yards. Kennewick has won that area of the game. Penalties have been heavily weighted against Hermiston tonight. 3 personal fouls, a pass interference penalty.
Yeah, the Hermiston's got 9 penalties, like I said, on the night, and that was just Kennewick's 4th of the night.
First down and 5 after the penalty. Ball at the 13-yard line. Vaitete to the left of Elliott. Elliott pointing out pressure coming from his left, and so they changed the play. Elliott on a hot route play. Looking to throw to the end zone. Knocked away from Ramirez. Batted ball by Stoddard. And so a second down and 5 facing Hermiston. Left, you have Jewell, and then Schwarzy, and then McCamey from the 13. Elliott to throw, pressured in the pocket. He'll step up. Still in the backfield. He'll throw it hard to McCamey, who catches the 90-mile-per-hour fastball from 3 yards away, and it's a 3-yard gain for Hermiston to the 10.
That was a bullet from that close. But it was probably best for the best of it because...
It'd be hard to drop because he would have thrown it through him.
Yeah, I mean...
There's a penalty. Well, it'd have been a while.
Yeah, we can go ahead and erase that. Nice little bullet pass.
We'll always have it in our memories.
Yeah. And so will Coy.
Yeah. Coy will have it in his nightmares. That's pigskin coming at you quick. 8:06 left in the fourth quarter.
So what was the penalty called?
Never really is indicated, but it was apparently a big one because it moves it all the way back to the 33. What penalty could that have been?
Had to have been a personal foul of some sort if it was 15. And the only one talking about it is Cadenas. So I'm not getting what's going on
there. To the 35, 15 yards to the 35 is marched off from the 19-yard line. It was on Sam, is what we're told. But even so, the line of scrimmage was the 13-yard line.
Yes.
10, 15. That's a 21-yard assessment. If it's a dead ball personal foul, it's not a spot penalty.
Well, that's twice now that the penalty yardages have been just a little, that actually have gone from the old line of scrimmage, not actually the actual line of scrimmage.
I mean, I guess, yeah, that's 15 yards from where this set of downs started.
Right. But
second down and a lot from the 34. Blitz coming from Kennewick. Elliott is caught in the backfield. The ball's knocked out of his hands and recovered by the Lions. Recovered at the 44-yard line. And the recovery was made by Santos Flores, the starting nose tackle in the defense. Nose tackle means you don't necessarily get in on a lot of action. Your job is usually to take a couple of blockers most of the night. But Flores recovers the fumble. And sixth fumble tonight, third one lost by Hermiston. Fourth turnover of the game.
Not a whole heck of a lot that Elliott could have done. He couldn't even get a chance to get the ball down and try and go.
Yeah, he had it out ready to throw, and that was kind of thing. He got bear hugged with his arm in throwing motion, but it wasn't moving, so it was just a fumble. Mora ducks a tackler, but he will be pulled down for a loss, and the ball comes out at the end. Hermiston saying, hey, we knocked it out and recovered it, but Mora was definitely down. They got him back. They got him back to the line of scrimmage?
Wow. Oh, man. They got him behind the line of
Stalker
scrimmage.
and McDonald got him 2 yards deep. 7:25 left on the clock. 35-8 is the score line in favor of the Kennewick Lions. 3 receivers to the left and a man alone to the right. Tanner rolling left. He'll set up and throw. To an opening, downfield, first down yardage. Cervantes, the senior, moving his way to the left across the 40 and into Hermiston territory. Ends up down at the 39-yard line to move the chains.
17-yard pickup that time.
First down and 10 to the Hermiston 39-yard line. Tanner's got more behind him. Play action, throw left, completion, and a quick tackle made by Jewell.
Pass complete from Tanner.
That was another one to Cervantes. The senior's got 2 catches on the drive. 6-yard gain, second and 4. Jackson Gribskov, a sophomore, just came off the field, though he sees his first varsity action, at least that we're aware of. 35-8, Kennewick's lead with 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Tanner, option play. Now he's going to switch the field back to his right, stumbles to the 30-yard line. He's actually going to end up gaining 3. He needed 4, so 4th down and a yard facing the Lions.
30-yard line, just shy of the first and 10. 30 yard.
Randy Aufhalter will keep the offense on the field and try to, it's 3rd down and a yard, not 4th down. So definitely the offense will stay on the field as Elijah Tanner, the senior, will be in the pistol set with Eric Moore, the junior running back, behind him. Tight ends each way. Receivers each way. Moore, running back, left way. And he breaks a tackle at the 20-yard line to the 15. Stalker catches him and drags him down to the 8-yard line. First down yardage on a 22-yard pickup by Eric Mora. First down and goal. Chihuahua's lead over Walla Walla is 35-7 on the Columbia Orthodontics scoreboard. Kennewick beats Southridge 42-0. That one is over now. Moore in trouble. He comes back out of the pile right. Now he's going Nintendo Tecmo ball to the left. Ends up getting tripped up by Cadenas. Back at the 16-yard line. He loses 8 yards on the play.
Back to the 16-yard line.
Nice job again by Cadenas. Staying at home and just keep on going forward on them.
I think in the immortal words of Chris Berman, whoop, 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 whoops. Big loss, 2nd down and goal, back to the 16. I'm nominating that on my Emmy reel. My best moment of the night. Rolling right, Tanner to throw to the end zone. At the goal line, knocked away on a jump ball try.
3rd goal.
And another play made.
That's what
This
Jewell.
was Spencer Jewell this time, denying Simeon Howard. But let's say this, another play made by the cornerbacks.
Yes, it
Jewell
was.
and Weinberger both have been great tonight. third down and goal. And timeout. Hermiston will take it with 3:59 left in the fourth quarter, down 35-8. And we'll take it as well. Back in 60 on AM 1360 KOHU. Third down and goal from the 16. Elijah Tanner, the quarterback, at a pistol set, looking to throw, stepping up in the pocket, avoiding tacklers. A flag out as Tanner is pulled down from behind by Stalker at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to get a guy that's had a pretty good night, Eric Moria, for a holding, I do believe, Eric.
Tis a holding penalty against Kennewick. And that will move them back to third down and goal from, it'll be about the 32-yard line, it looks like. Not only was it a holding penalty, it was a holding penalty 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So, third and goal from the 32. What you got in the playbook? Probably screen. Just being realistic. Empty backfield for Tanner. Tanner, deep ball, throws it to the back of the end zone, in and out of the hands of Robert Sloan.
Wow, he was lucky he didn't take a look just a touch to his right, because he had Moria all alone by himself in the right on the G of the end zone. Excuse me, that was not that. That was had Howard standing all alone in the G of this side of the end zone.
Columbia Orthodontics scoreboard. It's a final. Kamaikan 42, Southridge is 0. Richland is up on Pasco 14-0 late. Chiawana 35-7 up on Walla Walla. How about this from the NBA? Terry Stotts gets win 500. Blazers beat Dallas 125-119. To the end zone, incomplete on fourth and goal from the 32. Kennewick will turn it over on downs. And the Bulldogs will have the ball down 35-8 with 3:18 left in the fourth quarter. Hey, the Lake Oswego Lakers, in their very first game of the entire season, beat Oregon City. Oregon City has lost 3 in a row to start the short year. Lake Oswego 42-20. That only matters because I went to Lake Oswego. First down and 10. Elliott looking to set up a screen. Dumps it off left side and immediately sniffed out by Barajas, who dumps the running back Reagan, who was trying to give it a go and immediately gets up and is feeling a bit hobbled again.
Second and 12.
Loss of 2 yards. Back to the 30. Second down and 12. Under 3 minutes left in regulation. Elliott, 3 receiver options right. He's looking over the middle. Lots of time in the pocket. Still holding, still holding. Now he'll pull it down and run near sideline and bounce like a pinball off of the sophomore linebacker. Weibel pushes Elliott out at the 40. It's a 10-yard gain.
Well, they got to convert this play here. Got 2 to make a first down on Eric.
From the 40-yard line, 3rd down and 2. Elliott to throw. Time in the pocket again. Rolling right. Weibel in pursuit. And Elliott is going to be shoved out of bounds. I don't think Weibel actually is going to end up getting the credit for the sack there. He is not. Instead, it will be Danny Dickinson, the junior. And Hermiston's going to punt it away on 4th down and 7 from their 35 with 2:25 left. And the clock paused here in the 4th quarter. 35-8 is the score line. Kennewick is going to go to 4-0. They are at Southridge next week. Southridge, as we said on the Columbia Orthodontics scoreboard, lost to Kennewick 42-0. Again, the punt to Jewell doesn't quite get to him. On a bounce, he picks it up and kicks it away and gets it back to midfield. It's only about a 14-yard punt. Okay, so tonight, the snap to the punter has been short 3 of the 4 times. It should be noted when we talk about Swiss Army knife type players, Spencer Jewell's been the long snapper. And so now he can't snap to himself. That would make him even that much more impressive. So Hermiston, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul in that special teams game. First down and 10 for the Lions. 2:18 left, up 35-8. And Elijah Tanner still at the quarterback position. New running back in there. And taking a handoff and gaining 2 yards on the play.
It'll be a new quarterback also, number 13.
And the running back is Dylan McIntyre, a freshman.
Dayton Davis is at quarterback now.
All right, the junior, Dayton Davis, who, as it turns out, looks just like Elijah Tanner.
And who's the running back that time?
It's number 33, Dylan McIntyre. McIntyre behind Davis on 2nd down and 8. Snap the ball with about 5 on the play clock. Hand off to McIntyre, and the freshman puts his nose down and gets up to the 41-yard line.
Down to the 41-yard line.
5-yard gain.
3rd and about 3.
And a 3rd and 3 facing. We'll go final with Chiawana over Walla Walla. 35-7 is the final score on that one. Tyler Mattioli Butcher is the receiver to the left. 3 receiver options to the right on this 3rd down and 3 from the 41-yard line. Keeper running right side. Davis to the outside edge and is pulled down. He gets 6 yards and a first down as he's taken down on the play by Riley Clark.
Dayton Davis on the carry. Good for the 1st and 10.
Nice job that time, by the quarterback pulling it out of there and just going for the gain.
Theoretically, Davis is the next man up after Elijah Tanner graduates. Now, Kennewick's got 2 games left after this one. Southridge next Thursday. It's a road game for them. And then they host Kennewick on Tuesday the 30th. So the MCC, most of the schools are going to get 6 in this season. Handoff and up the middle he goes. McIntyre down to the 29-yard line, picking up 5 yards on what will be the last play of the game. Kennewick 35, Hermiston 8, and it's a final here on senior night from Bulldog Stadium. We're back with your Sway Motors postgame show after this on AM 1360 KOHU.